Hello everyone, it's a sports algorithm preview for Monday, May 23rd. All the games are late, both hockey, all three actually, hockey, basketball, and baseball. We cover everything starting late tonight, so we can go through stuff right now. And I wanted to do that, and I also wanted to start to do a segment because I think this is funny, which is the craziest, like best paying, ridiculous round robin bet of the day. When there's a day like this where I can get one out before all the games start, I've done one, and we're going to talk about it in the round robin parlay tracker here in a second. So you can see $6,356 to 1, but there's more than just that bet. So we'll talk about that and how we got there. Anyway, let's talk hockey first. Playoff hockey in full swing. It's amazing stuff. One thing you can see is that Tampa Bay can actually win this series 4-0 at home. There's a lot of incentive to do that, to get extra rest, to wait for an opponent. If you can do that, Florida's had no answer for the defense of Tampa Bay. Wait a minute, I have the goaltenders backwards here. I'm sorry, for some reason this is wrong. Whoopsie daisy, put that here. So that will change stuff. Whoops, sorry, I gotta prepare these videos better. Bobrovsky goes there, and Vasilevsky is here. I don't know why. The percentages, I guess they have that. So that needs to be copied and go right here. Yeah, that changes the score, right? Exactly. Yeah, it says Florida would normally win this game a little bit more. These goaltenders are correct. Now, anyway, point is for some reason Tampa Bay's defense has been answering because for some reason they just know what they're doing. So that's why Tampa Bay's been winning these games in lower scoring fashion for the most part. So betting the under in this game, betting Tampa Bay to win at a pretty reasonable line because they're probably going to really close it out. And until Florida proves they can win a game, they haven't won a game. And there was all that pressure on them, and coming back from 3-0 is unbelievably difficult. So it might end up happening tonight. Anyway, that's that game. This game showed a little bit closer with Ville Husso in net because Binnington hurt. I am not a fan of Kadri. He runs people. He's a dirty player. I've seen him concuss people. In this case, he may have taken out Binnington, trying to poke a puck, which is going straight into the goalie, clearly. I don't like him, but it looks like it's changing the aspect of this series. And I like Ville Husso as a goalie. His rating's okay, but Colorado, tough team. So the line is okay for Colorado. That's kind of what the algorithm is saying, but it's still playoff hockey. I bet the tie in this game, too, because I know it's going to be a battle with St. Louis at home. So we'll see if that happens. Now let's talk baseball, and then we'll talk betting. So baseball, none of these lineups are confirmed yet, but this is the look for Monday. It has the Dodgers up on top, and then the Cubs, and then some interesting underdogs start to pop up. You've got Colorado and the Mets here, way up here. This Yankees game, it says that Colorado is a better pick over Pittsburgh at plus 120 than the Mets over Baltimore. And this figures into my crazy, crazy bet for the day, and I'll explain when we get there. But Mets, then you've got Minnesota, then St. Louis, still above 10% margin here with Miles Mikolas going, pitching well at home against Toronto. It's a fairly good line there. It says Philly beats Atlanta, but we start to get to lower percentages here. Houston way down here with a very low projected score game against Cleveland at home. Arizona, then another couple underdogs with Oakland and Milwaukee or San Diego. So after analyzing all the pitcher stats and taking a look, I saw that Detroit named Bo Brisky instead of a different guy they potentially had going last night when I did a video. Looking at runs and stuff, I tried to come up with, when the algorithm picks extreme things, for example, it's picking extreme over 3-run victory for Colorado in a game where they're an underdog against JT Brubaker, who's 0-4 with a 5.5 ERA. I mean, it's saying runs in this game, and the over-under set at 7.5. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I feel like, I know you inflate Colorado's stats a little bit because they're in Colorado, but even if you brought this down to 5, they're still supposed to win this game 4. They only won by 1, but they still. So I put Colorado minus 1.5, and we'll start to go over this pick and what's so crazy about it and what I actually did. So you can see that I made this pick on FanDuel where you can bet as little as 10 cents on each combination. I wanted to show you what the $1 par 8, there are 8 teams on here and crazy odds. One team probably be $6,356. The odds of hitting this are about 6,000 to 1, actually. I totally agree with that. This is extremely difficult, and I'm not expecting to hit all of those. So here's what I did in the micro betting strategy. Look at how inexpensive it is when you bet the minimum for every single other round robin parlay combination of 2s and 3s and 4s. 3s means like these 3 teams all together. These three teams, every single combination one. That's what's happening here. That's what the number of combos is right there. So, different, another way we can show that is to show that the different number of combinations and kind of, where there's the most, like there's the most 4s, then there's 3s. So I did this with these teams, and what are they and why? Well, I was just showing the Rockies game. It says they put up runs against pitcher. They win this game, so if they cover on the road, it pays 188. I chose the Orioles because they were lowered. They're not favored by the algorithm, but it's showing that the Yankees have more trouble than you think here. Kind of. It's actually just a big underdog pick. For some reason, I saw this lower on the list and lower than these other 2 games, and I thought, if there's going to be a weird upset, apparently it's something like this, because this normally would be on the top if they're really supposed to win. So it's wishing at the stars, but it does pay something, and I want to show you why I add all these things with really great lines on here. I've got the 2 ties in the hockey game, hoping they both go to overtime. Something that if it happens once, maybe it's the playoffs. It happens a little more than normal, but we'll see. Braves are favored by the algorithm. Tigers are not, but it's supposed to be a close game. A's are favored and Mets are favored. So everything's got an amazing line. Well, we're not going to win all these games. Let's get real. Of course not. It's too many ridiculous things. So let's say that one of the hockey games doesn't end in a tie. I actually think this is the one that's going to end in a tie. So let's say the Colorado game, and Colorado walks away with it again, and this game loses. Watch what our payouts change to. Now all of a sudden, we can only win $1,263 on our $25 because we've already lost one of our combinations. Well, what if we lose another one? What if the Orioles don't win because the algorithm says the Yankees are supposed to win? Now it's down to $270. Well, what if the Tigers don't win? Something could totally happen is the Tigers could lose. Now you're down to $70, but everything paid so well here that you actually have to go 4-4 to start losing money. And even then, you almost break even and only lose 20% because the odds are so unbelievable. So this makes for a very interesting night because you can micro bet this stuff where I'm choosing certain outcomes, but there are also so many other games to pick and there's so many other positions to pick, and you don't have to pick really, really ridiculous ones all the time. So you can do so many of these, and you don't have to do 8, right? Let's get one of these off of here. You don't have to do 8, and you also don't have to do $1 on the end, but I like to show the $1 on the end to show what it pays. Because it's interesting to see that. Here's 2,800 to 1, right? Anyway, point is, look at that, $12.90. That pays almost $4,600. Like, are you kidding? It's crazy. Now you're not going to hit them all. You're going to miss like half of them, right? It's like just like anything else. You win half and lose half, but you still win money if you do that. It's crazy. Then you start to lose. So the act of populating your portfolio essentially of wagers throughout the day, and you can live bet on top of that, let alone before the game, but populating all these different combinations that are unique but follow along the guidelines, especially of the baseball algorithm where you have so much to choose from. Team runs, game runs over under, alternate run lines for teams. Just unbelievable things you can do. So that's kind of what's going on, and I'm keeping tracking of it. We'll see if today ends up being a good day. The only things I saw suspect on there, the Yankees game is just too far down. This game looks to be low scoring, so it's the under and not Houston to play there at that line. I don't know about these low. These are usually going to be anything below 10%. Expect for the barber pole like peppered results, meaning you go 3-2 or 2-3 down here. So you don't put those in things you think you're going to win. You put stuff up here, like your more solid stuff, like this Colorado to win, this Mets to win, Cubs to win, even though the strength isn't there, but Cincinnati pitching is difficult. and Washington to lose to the Dodgers. Tough game to bet because of the line, but the Dodgers are supposed to cover on the road. So, and it looks like Minnesota over Detroit, but the line's too low. So it's really 1, 2, 3, and the Dodgers minus 1.5. Those are kind of a big four. And St. Louis, St. Louis is still above 10%, and their power is stronger with Mikolas. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Dodgers to win or minus 1.5, depending on how you want to play it. All right, everybody. Good luck, man. All our crazy, 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 ridiculous picks be winning. Because there was a day, I didn't actually bet it, but I did a video about it and then didn't bet it. It was amazing. There was a day in college basketball like 2 years ago where one of the first days when I was doing college basketball, I sorted all the underdogs by the best paying underdog. And there was like a plus 800. It was something like this. It was like, 280. It was nuts what was on the list. And it was something like this. And it did like this. It was where like $10 paid 20 or 60,000 or something ridiculous. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was 17,001. I think there was actually an eighth on it. Point is when you do enough of these, eventually you hit something weird or you get a heavy percentage of these correct. And you get to see, even though you're not wagering a very large nominal amount. I mean, can you imagine going 6-1 and making $2,200 on a $12 bet? It's not going to happen every day. It's not going to happen every week. But it can kind of sneakily happen once a month in a certain form, or once every few weeks if you're betting a lot of these. Maybe 1 out of every 50 you feel unbelievable and almost win them all. The algorithm has done days like that. And then you do something like this. That is within the realm of possibility with certain... these lines are unbelievable, so I need to put back the other actual lines. But, yeah. Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, with something like that. Totally doable. I've done it numerous times. So, be very interesting. See what happens. All right. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.